Prince Harry has changed the rules of the game. This is an article I came across reading today by Steve Schmidt. The article is a very interesting article, and I'm sure each and every one of you will agree with me. And I just want us to go through it today, and you will not be disappointed. Trust me, guys, you won't be disappointed. So, the article is titled, Prince Harry has changed the rules of the game. Let me just read it for you guys. And I quote, President Franklin D. Roosevelt was a political genius who personally orchestrated every detail of history's first visit from their Britannic Majesties to American soil. A bit of a history lesson, guys. So let's just continue. It continues saying, the king descended into George Washington's burial crypt to lay a red, white, and blue wreath on the sarcophagus of his ancestors' greatest nemesis. Apparently, he was overwhelmed by the occasion, reportedly saying, very interesting. The visit was arranged on the edge of the Second World War, and its purpose was to deepen the Anglo-American relationship and prepare for the inevitability of war. The special relationship, in quotes, did not exist yet. There was a deep isolationist sentiment in the United States where the concerns of the British Empire were not top of mind for the American people. Yet, foreshadowing America's enduring fascination with the royalty we overthrew, hundreds of thousands of Americans came forward to cheer the king and queen everywhere they went. The Vice President of the United States was Cactus Jack Garner. He shocked the congressional greeting party when he spotted the arriving king and queen and shouted out loud, "The British are coming!" Later, at one of the most infamous garden parties in Washington, D.C. history, he would throw his arm casually around Prince William's great-grandfather, slapping him on the back. This appalled Harold Ickes, who skipped the garden party to attend a competing Lyndon Johnson's stag party instead. When he heard of the manhandling of the king by Cactus Jack, he said he had no natural dignity and showed no more than he would have shown at a church dinner in Uvalde, Texas. War preparation against the royal family's Nazi relatives and Nazi Germany was the true purpose of the royal visit, but that was obscured by the eruption of a great scandal caused by the dearth of invitations for Washington, D.C. political reporters to attend a garden party at the British Embassy. The reputation of Lady Lindsay, the ambassador's wife, never recovered. Upon escaping the common savagery of the 76th Congress, their Majesties headed to New York City, where they were greeted with an editorial that perfectly encapsulates the current difficulty between our peoples. The editorial proclaimed America's affinity for King George VI and Queen Elizabeth by not just saying, "We like them," but thirsting for their approval by plaintively hoping that they like us. It has been so ever since. Americans want to be accepted and liked by the British upper crust we overthrew for some reason. We have a certain inexplicable neediness in this regard. It is among our many national contradictions. We seem to melt at the feet of the diffident British royals. It is an us and them problem, and one of us has angered a bunch of them, making the situation even more explosive. One of them has stood up for one of us. Apparently, like scores of Britons, he has rejected the oppressive class structure and anachronistic institution that proclaims a right to rule on the basis of birthright and genetics and fled to America. Apparently, he has done so to protect his wife and children from the vicious madness and predations of the corrupt British media that killed his mother and threatened his wife's sanity. So who we are talking about here is the marvelous Prince Harry. Prince Harry, who has done everything in his power to protect his family, to protect his wife, and to protect his children. At the time, they thought that Prince Harry would abandon his wife, would stick at the side of the royal family, would stick to their side, despite all the evil doings, despite everything that they were doing against his beautiful wife, Meghan Markle. They thought that Prince Harry would stick to their side and abandon Meghan Markle. But what did Prince Harry do? Prince Harry stuck by his wife. Prince Harry is stuck by his wife. Through everything, he protected his family. He stood for what he believed in. That is the kind of person, the kind of man Prince Harry is. So let's just continue with this article. It continues to say, Meghan Markle is an American that appears to be the problem to these people, or at least a quarter of it. She is an actress from California with a degree from the Northwestern University, who was, God forbid, divorced, So what would Henry have thought? What would he have thought? I want to share a clip with you guys. I want you to listen to this and tell me what you think. Let's just listen to this.
In his book, Harry writes that when he introduced Meghan Markle to his family in 2016, his father initially took a liking to her, but William was skeptical, disdainfully referring to Meghan as an American actress. Though Harry doesn't specify who, he says other members of the royal family were uneasy as well.
Right from the beginning, before they even had a chance to get to know her. And the UK press jumped on that, and here we are.
And what was that based on, that mistrust?
The fact that she was American, an actress, divorced, black, biracial, with a black mother. Those were just 4 of the typical stereotypes that becomes a feeding frenzy for the British press.
But all those things within the family also were sources of mistrust.
Yes, my family read the tabloids. It's laid out at breakfast when everyone comes together. So whether you walk around saying you believe it or not, it's still leaving an imprint in your mind. So if you have that judgment based on a stereotype right at the beginning, it's very, very hard to get over that. And a large part of it for the family, but also the British press and numerous other people, is like, he's changed. She must be a witch. He's changed. As opposed to, yeah, I did change. And I'm really glad I changed. Because rather than getting drunk, falling out of clubs, taking drugs, I've now found the love of my life. And I now have the opportunity to start a family with her.
So you've had it, guys. You've had it. From the get-go, Prince William was xenophobic towards Meghan Markle, citing all these absurd reasons, basically saying how she's an actress, how she's divorced, but down to the point of it is because she's American. That is why, from the beginning, Prince William was xenophobic, was against, was anti-Meghan Markle. No support. And the funny thing to me is they expected Prince Harry to go along with the bullying of his wife. That is just such an absurd thought to me. They expected him to just go along with it and not say anything, not do anything, which is why they're saying that, as Prince Harry has put it, that they were shocked and kept on saying how he's changed. He's changed because now he's standing up for his wife. Apparently he has changed. Instead of being, just another spoiled kid, another part of the royal family dealing with all the shenanigans, he decided to stand up for his family and be a man. And what they gave him as a result of that is to be ostracized from the family, is to be told that he is going against his family, is to be told that he has changed, that they don't recognize him, simply because he would not tolerate and put up with the bullying of his wife. This is the kind of person Prince William is. From the beginning, he was against Meghan Markle, citing nothing to do with her character, nothing to do with anything Meghan Markle has ever done against him and his family, simply because of her background, how she was brought up, being a biracial woman, being from America, having worked hard her life, gotten into acting, being divorced. These are the reasons that they just took and decided, you know what, we're not going to like this woman. We're going to do everything within our power to make her the villain, to make her the bad person in this story. And they expected Prince Harry to stick along with it. And I am proud of Prince Harry for never, for 1 second, sticking along with that and allowing his wife to be bullied. He has continuously protected his wife and his family. And that is what he's standing for and fighting for to this day. So let's just get along. Let's get on with this article and continue. It says that her ruthlessness and viciousness are hard to overstate unless compared to her appalling rudeness and lack of self-awareness. The biracial American overstepped. A more sophisticated and cultured person would have been better. This is their opinion. Baseless opinion, not from facts, not from spending any type of time with Meghan Markle, not from welcoming her into the family or anything, just based off her background, based off what they think, or rather how low they think of Americans, that they would say such things. So let me continue. It continues to say her presence, tolerable on the television screen, became intolerable in the flesh, apparently by pressing common flesh against the royal flesh, if I understand the affront correctly. This person, Steve Schmidt, is trying to understand where could the British royals possibly be coming from. So that's why he is putting it in this manner, that maybe it was her presence. Somehow it was tolerable for them when it was on TV. But when it came to interacting in person, they thought of her as common flesh, trying to rub against the royal flesh. And you know how highly this royal family folks thinks of themselves. We already know how full of pride they are, how arrogant they are. They think the world of themselves. So they couldn't understand. They couldn't possibly understand why Meghan Markle was going against them. Why was she becoming this, force to be reckoned with? They couldn't understand that, and they couldn't accept her just like that. So let me continue. It continues saying, here is what happened. 35-year-old Prince William Arthur Philip Louis Mountbatten Windsor became enraged because his younger brother's girlfriend failed to curtsy to him when they met. How shallow of a person is Prince William? The simple fact that Meghan Markle did not curtsy to him when they met, that is why he became enraged. That's why he became embittered and just wanted to create this whole crusade of fighting against Meghan Markle for the simple fact that she did not curtsy. How highly do you think of yourself? It continues to say, even worse, she greeted him with a hug. Guys, honestly, what kind of person is Prince William? The fact that Meghan Markle did not try and be, fake. She was her authentic self. She was like, you know what, I'm a hugger. I can just go hug you, make you feel welcomed, make you feel, warm. And just did not, look at them as royalty, as someone to just impress and go there curtsy, not say anything. She was like, I am in love with your brother. I want to welcome you as someone would welcome any other person into their family and show you, I'm very grateful to meet you. I'm very happy for this occasion, meeting you. So she just gives him a hug. Very warm, very open, very welcoming. This is the thing that enrages Prince William. You wanted her to fall at your feet and be like, Your Majesty. What were you expecting, Prince William? Honestly, it just baffles me how this man thinks. So even worse than that was that she did it to the 32-year-old Duchess of Cambridge as well. How could she? The audacity of Meghan Markle to hug and embrace Kate Middleton warmly, affectionately. The audacity this woman had. I mean, it is just so absurd. It is so absurd to look at this from any other position other than the fact that Prince William, Kate Middleton, all of them, they are just very, very arrogant people. They look down at people. They saw Meghan as this American actress, and they were just like, you are beneath us. You are below us. From the get-go, they did not go to this meeting with an open mind. They did not go with anything other than just to chastise Meghan, to make her feel like very low and very small. And Meghan is a beautiful person. She chose this opportunity to be welcoming to Kate Middleton, to be welcoming to Prince Harry. And how did they take it? That was how they took it. So let me continue reading, guys. Appalling, truly. How dare she? My God. Didn't she know who she was talking to? Didn't she know who she was standing in front of? This is just what was going through Prince William's mind. Is that, does she not know I am Prince William, future king? Does she not know? How could she not? She was speaking to the firstborn son of Prince Charles, Philip Arthur George, who once dreamed of being a tampon so that he could remain close to his beloved mistress. This is just so wrong on so many levels. So that he could remain close to his beloved mistress, the former Mrs. Shand, who will soon be the Queen of Australia, Canada, and Jamaica. So now, speaking of Her Majesty, the Queen Consort of Australia, Canada, and Jamaica, it is indisputable that she was regarded as a villainous figure in the British media in 1997. Prince Harry didn't call her a villain like it is being wildly reported, wildly spread in the dishonest British press. He instead observed that she was considered one. He further observed with absolute precision that she embarked on a 2-decade-long public relations campaign to become viewed as acceptable to both Queen Elizabeth and the British public. The firstborn son was treated differently than the second son. Apparently, the second son was the one who the father targeted for the emotional abuse by repeatedly joking about his paternity and insinuating he wasn't Harry's father. Let me stop right there for a minute. Can you imagine how hurtful that is? How hurtful it is as Prince Harry. You are there and they're making fun of the fact that your father is not actually your father. How would that make you feel? This was so wrong of them to do this to him. The mental torture that Prince Harry went through all those years, it's just heartbreaking. Heartbreaking to see him talk about, to read about what he went through is very heartbreaking for us to read and to see. So, let's continue. Speaking of Jamaica and colonialism, I finally understand this photo. The photo of, Prince William and Kate Middleton in Jamaica. And I'll admit it disoriented me and led me to a category of false assumption that I am usually allergic towards. It is a standard fare for both the British and American media to immunize their preferred brands by blaming staff for their stupidity. I have walked many miles in these shoes as soon as I was blamed for picking the astronomically incompetent Sarah Palin for vice president. The 72-year-old war hero, U.S. Senator, and Republican nominee John McCain was inoculated from his recklessness because he was in a protected class. He was a seducer without peer and understood the access game better than any American politician who ever lived. At first, I presumed that William and Kate were ill-served by grotesquely incompetent palace courtiers who are more skilled at leaking and disparaging than international diplomacy and image making. I was wrong. This picture represents William and Kate's worldview. It is a reflection of how they see themselves. It is their self-portrait. They are born to rule from a station above. They are serious people. They are to be taken seriously. They are art's youngest anachronisms. They are frozen in amber from a world that doesn't exist outside of the imagination of the palace walls. Inside those walls, the fairy tale is the life of privilege that has convinced and convinced apparently aggrieved young man that he is better than everyone else because his blood is royal and all of ours isn't. This just shows the point of privilege that Prince William has been brought up in, to the point where he thinks he is better than everyone else, better than all of us, better than everyone really. This is how his mindset works. This is how he thinks. You can see from this picture how he thinks that he is above everyone else. This is his mentality. I feel like Steve Schmidt has put it very accurately, the reflection of how William and Kate see themselves. He has put it in words very perfectly. Very, very perfectly. This is how they believe that they are better simply because they are from a royal family. His blood is royal. Just simply because of that. Not of anything that he's done, any of his efforts, nothing really to do with maybe helping the humankind. Not from any of that. His actions and why he thinks he should be, exalted, or he should be placed very highly, or should be thought of very highly rather, is simply because of that, because he was born into the royal family. And it's honestly, I can't understand this. But this is how he thinks. This is how he thinks. And I'm sure most of you will agree with me. So as I go on, last year, I had the good fortune to spend a long day of fun cruising up the north coast of Jamaica from a tiny fishing village called Oracabeso to Port Antonio. My driver was a quintessentially Jamaican woman named Barbara. She was funny and alive, with a laugh that could break down walls. She was a joy to be with as we stopped for Johnny Cakes and Red Stripe along the way. I learned something from her that I didn't know. Despite my being to Jamaica many times, it was something that never occurred to me. It is very difficult for the average Jamaican to access the beach in their own country, surrounded by some of the most beautiful ocean water in the world. That is colonialism. It is why the British monarchy will endure in England but not in Jamaica and Australia. The monarchy's last chance to modernize has passed. The royal family made their choice. The snobbishness, which is deeply attached to a sense of bloodline superiority, won't survive the first half of the 21st century across the Commonwealth of Nations. They will substantially reject both Charles and the angry Prince of Wales. This is just something that I feel like brings me so much joy, the fact that these countries like Jamaica and Australia are finally, opening their eyes and leaving behind the monarchy, which is not really doing anything for them. The fact that they cannot even access, this is Jamaicans, cannot access the beach in their own country, that is just, I cannot fathom that. It is so crazy to me. The fact that it is closed off from their access, it is just unbelievable. So I'm so glad that finally countries like Australia are leaving the old traditions behind of just following through, century after century with the monarchy, leading them and not actually, in fact, doing anything for their countries, but still being seen and considered as the heads of their countries in some way or another. It doesn't make sense. And the fact that they are leaving that behind is something to congratulate them on, to support them on, to be like, wow, finally, that is a good thing. That is a good thing for them. So yeah, as I go on, guys, throughout his book, Prince Harry details the instances during which Prince William put a finger in either his face or that of his wife. There is no excuse for that conduct. Absolutely no excuse for that conduct. It marks and identifies William as a royal bully. It does. It really does. Apparently, his goofiness, which can be misidentified for an awkward friendliness, is a facade to obscure his imperiousness. That is just exactly what it is. He puts up a facade in front of people, trying to seem like he's just this goofy person, but he is not. He is a royal bully. Prince William is a royal bully. So what did Prince Harry do? Prince Harry did what a man is supposed to do. He has put his wife and children first. He has protected them from abuse and assault. He has protected them from a viciousness and dishonesty that is difficult for almost everyone who hasn't been smeared by the media to possibly understand. This is what the general public doesn't get, because you cannot be able to put yourself in their shoes, because you have never walked in such shoes. The media has not just labeled you a villain and decided to put all this amount of energy into hating you and spreading hate. Despite anything that you might do, your name is always carried around with hate. I feel like majority of the world has not experienced this in any way, shape or form. So you can't possibly begin to understand what Prince Harry has gone through. You can't begin to understand it. He has gone through a lot, and despite that, he has always put his wife and children first. This is the man to look up to. This is the man to be like, Prince Harry is the man. Prince William is honestly no man. Truly, truly, truly. He is just an evil, a bad person, and has done many wrong things that people have overlooked. And we are no longer going to overlook these things. We are simply not. So Prince Harry has told the truth about his life in a straightforward and transparent manner. He has changed the rules of the game. He has lifted his voice against the anonymous sources who come from exactly where he said they come from. The silence of the royal family with regard to what he has said is not a function of their dignity. It is a product of their shame. Wow. Just wow. I am urging each and every one of you to go and read this article by Steve Schmidt. The way he has ended it right there, I'm going to just repeat it because it is very powerful and uplifting. The silence of the royal family with regard to what he has said is not a function of their dignity. It is a product of their shame. The royal family is ashamed of their actions. They're not trying to protect themselves by not saying anything because they want to protect their dignity. No. They are ashamed because every single thing Prince Harry has said is the truth, is in fact the truth. And he has said it in such an honest, transparent, and straightforward way that anyone who misconstrues what he says is just basically being purposefully ignorant and blind of the truth right in front of their face. Because he has given detailed action of events that occurred while he was in the royal family, his exit from the royal family, and life after the royal family. Very detailed. And it is exactly what happened. So the people who choose to ignore this are just being deliberately ignorant, honestly. This is the truth. And this is why we continue to commend Prince Harry and Meghan Markle day in, day out, because they spoke their truth. They are speaking their truth and continuing to stand firm by it, despite what anyone might say. So I feel like we've gotten the gist of the article. Prince William is xenophobic, hated Meghan Markle from the get-go. From the get-go, anything that she might have said or done, he hated and was against it from the beginning. This is the type of person Prince William is. We have seen the type of man Prince Harry is because of how he protected his wife and chose to stand by his wife, despite now being told that, oh, he has changed, he is no longer following in rules, and Meghan Markle has influenced him. And Prince Harry is like, yeah, my wife has influenced me for the better. Because would they rather have me, being this kid who's just out partying and doing all these things, instead of being, a father, working hard for his family, staying true to his values, and supporting the people that are close to him, the charities he's passionate about, going through and doing good work for humanity. So I don't know, what do you think? What do you think, my family? Please share with us in the comments down below. What do you think of this whole article? What is your opinion on Prince William and Kate Middleton and all the hate that from the beginning, just by Meghan simply embracing them and hugging them, and from their first meeting, they were like, how dare she? Does she not know who we are? What do you think of that? What do you think of that? Let me know, please, family. So yeah, family, and with this and so much more, thank you so much for watching our video. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And as I think about all this, it is very, very sad, truly, that the royal family is not sorry for the harm that they have caused Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They are not sorry for their actions. It is truly, truly sad. And I have been quoting from Steve Schmidt's article. We will pin it on the description, on the comments below, so you can go and check it out for yourselves. And thank you so much. And we love you always and forever. Bye.
Hello, members of Zesco Family TV. First of all, I want to say thank you for all your support that you give us to our channel. We don't take it for granted that you support this channel. I want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for lending out your support and fighting against injustices, supporting Prince Harry and Meghan, showing them love. Love will always triumph over evil, and for that I say thank you. Good will always prevail over bad. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for joining this community, this amazing community of Zesco Family TV. I love you so much, family, from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you all the best. May you have a great, great day. And I hope that you enjoyed this video and learned a lot of things. With that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. Leave a comment below, like, and subscribe. Love you, family, always and forever. Sayonara.